You kind of had some run-ins with Family Dollar. You had already called corporate once, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what had happened?
So what happened was I used to work for Family Dollar for 3 years. The manager, for a while we got along. As the years passed, she started developing this attitude. I don't know if it was pressure from corporate, but she just started being rude and nasty to the employees, making demands, and it was very stressful. I had a pre-K child at the time, and my son was in middle school, and little kids, you have to be there to get them off the bus. She would schedule me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon so she can leave, knowing my baby comes home at 3:30, and say things like, don't leave my only cashier by themselves. So I got to the point to where I start coming in at 5 o'clock myself when I run up my 2 kids. You don't want to make it convenient. And then she started giving me problems, writing me up. She gave me, I want to say, a warning and a final in the same day. And I can't jeopardize my job. I've been dedicated to you for 3 years. So I gave her a 2-week notice, but within that 2 weeks, she just really made my life hell. So I quit. After quitting, every time I go back to the store, she has this animosity towards me. So the very first time I went to the store in July, I had this little backpack I carry. It comes in the ladies' accessories handbag section. Same one that I got arrested with, okay? She never questioned me working there with that backpack. Everybody, she would tell them, we have to check your bags coming in or out. She never questioned me. She always trusted me. I go in that day, cashier, you have to leave your bag in the front. I open my bag. I show her what I have. I tell her I'm only going to the back for a pack of chicken. I hear behind me, you can't go through the store. You have to leave your bag. I let her know too. I already showed her I'm going for a pack of chicken. Upon coming back, I try to show her the chicken. I try to show her my backpack. She did not want to ring me up. She's not going to ring you up because you wouldn't leave your bag at front. I'm not going to lie. I felt some type of way. I threw the pack of chicken behind me. Didn't throw it over the register. You go put it back then. It's hot. It's July. I'm getting dinner from my babies. Because you have a personal vendetta against me, you don't allow me to shop. Nothing said about it. I went to Dollar General, mind my business. The very next time I came to the store, another assistant manager, she didn't want me to come in, but she told me, I'll buy your stuff for you. Rita, there's no reason why you shouldn't have to shop here. The very next time I go in there, I tried to purchase a $1 pack of toothpicks. It gave me the hardest time. Did go to Dollar General first. They were completely out. So I called corporate. Corporate spoke to me directly. They left me on hold the whole time. They said when calls died down, they were going to call and let her know without an active trespass from the sheriff or without something from loss prevention saying I was stealing. They have no right to ban me from the store. They cannot tell people they can't come in with their backpack. She cannot follow people around the store, pat their pockets down. She does all of that. She believes everybody in the neighborhood steals. Kids can only come in 2 at a time. If it's during the daytime, they can't come without their parents. She puts her own rules in place, but you have to follow corporate's rules. And so 2 weeks later, me and my children, we have a pass from corporate to go into Family Dollar. The day I got arrested, I was walking from Hornsby Elementary. My 5-year-old just had her parent-teacher conference. Kids, you want some snacks? Where do you want to go? They say Family Dollar. They're partial to Family Dollar snacks. As I approach the parking lot, I see in her truck smoking a cigarette. When I walk in, I speak to the cashier. Me and her child have been in the same class for 3 years, Head Start, pre-K, kindergarten. We're talking about conferences. Nothing bad is being said. I can't be in the store. My kids, they're gathering their snacks, and it's a good thing. Okay? When I get to the register, I kind of get stumped because I needed 26 more cents, and I need to step out and transfer some money. My kids got back in line. They purchased ice creams. And as soon as they rung me up, the cashier says, doesn't want you in the store. So I say, corporate already said I have a right to be here no matter what it says. So I guess you guys will see me again. See you later. And we leave and nothing. As we're walking out the parking lot, I see Richmond County coming in. Out of sight, out of mind to me because I haven't done anything wrong. Me and my kids probably get about 30 more feet down the street, and I see Richmond County make a U-turn. It's exactly how he approached me. He hops out the car. Identify yourself. Excuse me? I'm feeling like, what did I do? Identify yourself. Identify yourself or your children will be taken into custody and you will be arrested. Just like that. What's going on, sir? I need to know what's going on. We're just walking home. We haven't done anything. No explanation needed, no argument needed. Identify yourself. I could identify myself, but again, I haven't done anything wrong. And I'm just walking with my kids, minding my business. Next thing you know, he says, no argument needed, no rebuttal, just identify yourself. Where are you coming from? And I said, I'm coming from Hornsby, parent teacher conference. Wrong. You came from 206, which is the address to Sandbar Ferry. Yes, I did come there. Well, we have a private business owner down there that doesn't want you. And I was like, hold on, sir. Like, I just talked to corporate, and it seems like as soon as I started explaining to him, he just copped the attitude. He didn't want to hear anything I said. He automatically goes to grab my left hand. So I tell my son, call my friend Key. Key is the only friend that I have because all of my family is in California. Key does not answer the phone. So I tell my son, start recording. This is an unlawful arrest. Start recording. I told the officer I broke my hand. So what you see in the video, me shielding my hand, is me trying to keep my finger from getting hurt again. I just got out of University Hospital the night before with a splint. And at the time, I had a metal pole halfway up my hand. That was my original splint. So as the officer's moving me around, it's really hurting my hand. Within 2 minutes of approaching us, he kick-sweeped me and knocked me on the ground on my face in front of my babies. And I'm screaming for help because what else can I do? This is unlawful. This is wrong. Corporate had already said I could go there, and I'm feeling like I didn't do anything wrong. And at the time, I'm face down on the ground. He keeps screaming, I'm resisting arrest. I'm not resisting arrest. My hand is hurting, and you have me in an incorrect manner, and he's sitting on top of me. And I keep telling him, I'm 110 pounds. Please get off of me. What happened was he handcuffed me with my backpack on, and he wouldn't get off of me until he can figure out how to get my backpack off at the bottom. In the meantime, I look up, and my 5-year-old is by the street, and there's an 18-wheeler coming. Motherly instincts never stop, so I lift my head up and tell her, baby, move away from the street. He slams my head down again. Stop resisting arrest. And it was just a really horrible incident for no reason. My children didn't deserve to go through that. I didn't deserve to go through that because someone at Family Dollar does not like me. She had already been told by corporate not to touch me. So for them to falsely call the police and act like I was a criminal, I haven't stolen from that store. I didn't threaten anybody in that store. I didn't damage any property in that store. And so according to corporate, as of yesterday, they still had no reason to do that. So on the internet, it looks like I'm a bad parent and I'm resisting arrest and I'm putting my kids in danger, but that situation was totally unnecessary.
Why, the people at Family Dollar don't like you. Why go to Family Dollar at all?
It's only the general manager that doesn't like me. And per the code of conduct for Family Dollar, you must keep your personal and your business relationships separate. And the other people at Family Dollar are only following the rules of says I can't come because they don't want to lose their job. They want to follow what says. But is not a private business owner, does not own a franchise where that is her personal store. She has to follow what corporate says. And she did not.
Why? I'm just saying, why not go to another store?
I do go to Dollar General as well. However, Dollar General doesn't have all the things that we need. A lot of times my kids are partial to Family Dollar snacks because I did work there for so long. So we do go to Dollar General, but if they don't have something, I feel that there's no reason why I couldn't walk to Family Dollar as the only other store in the neighborhood.
So the officer in his incident report said you failed to identify yourself. Why did you fail to identify yourself to him when he came up to you?
Because at the time I wasn't sure that he was looking exactly for me. I'm thinking he's looking for someone who's committed a crime, and that wasn't me. It wasn't me.
And then throughout the process of your arrest, he wrote, I think, 3 times that he told you if you resisted, he was going to have to put you on the ground. Then you continued to resist, and scream for help. Do you believe you resisted arrest?
I do not believe I resisted arrest.
How come?
The officer didn't even give me a chance to explain the situation before he put the handcuffs on me. If he would have listened to me say that corporate, said that I can be there, maybe if he would have even taken the time to allow me to call corporate, if he would have even taken me back to the store, we could have let me know in front of him. Didn't corporate call you and tell you this isn't okay? There were so many other options. The officer did not give me those options.
Why did you scream for help? You're in the presence of law enforcement. Usually when people are screaming for help, they're screaming for help from EMS, a cop, something like that. But you're in the presence of law enforcement screaming for help. Why were you screaming for help?
I was screaming for help because 1, it was a false arrest. 2, was an unlawful arrest. And I had no one else for the side of the road by my children. I have a 12-year-old who's recording and a 5-year-old who's unattended, and she's screaming hysterically. I need someone to come and rescue my children. Take them out the way so they don't see anything. I'm not saying put them in your car, go away with them, but just take them off the scene. Move them 20 feet up, you know. Console my baby. Tell her that this is okay, that mommy will be okay. You know, I'm screaming for help because someone needed to help me. Someone needed to see that this was not okay. Someone needed to hear my story at the time. The officer is approaching me for a private business owner who is not really a private business owner. Please, someone get me to help this officer understand. No one came.
So, what happened afterwards? You were put in handcuffs, more officers come, but it wasn't just the officers who showed up. While you were in the car, a bunch of people came. Talk about that part of the story.
Yes. So the middle school counselor, she showed up. She recognized my son's face. Upon hearing my name, I want to say they called my child's kindergarten teacher. We think we have a parent of yours on the side of the road. Before I knew it, the school counselor, the social worker, the kindergarten teacher, everyone was there for my rescue. I as well called one of my neighbors. My son called my neighbor. He showed up to come and get my children, but at the time it was better for them to go with the kindergarten teacher because she spends her every days with my baby. She was hysterical, and that was the only one that I could think to console her and be okay to take them, being that I was going into custody.
So did the kindergarten teacher take your kids?
She did. As soon as she came on scene, she put them in the van so they didn't have to be out on the street witnessing what was going on.
And they were able to go home with her and stuff?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
DFACS showed up on scene. The officer called DFACS because my original friend didn't answer. So it took about 2 hours. And then when DFACS came, I had to sign over a 45-day temporary custody to my child's teacher.
Got it, okay. Because I was going to say, the incident report said that they were turned over. So technically they were, and then DFACS you signed, and then they went to the kindergarten teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
So how long were you in jail for?
I was in jail till about 1:30 the next afternoon.
What was that like?
It was horrible. I was in initial lockup for 5 hours. I got put in isolation because I asked for a cup of water. I didn't want to drink water out of the sink where you wash your hands, and I got put in isolation because they felt it was no vacation. And for me to be requesting a cup of water was very rude. My finger was broken. I asked for medical attention. When I first got there, I was there for 5 hours before a nurse even saw my finger. At the time, I had pulled my splint off my hand myself because my metal pole was supposed to be down my finger, but it was across like this. And because my fingers were taped together, it was like pulling it. So I took it off myself. When the nurse saw me, all she did was wrap it up with gauze, put some tape on it, and put a glove on it, like a medical glove, because I had to take a shower. Upon getting out the shower, I got it wet. I asked to go back to the nurse. They told me I was going to the medical pod. So if I go to the medical pod, I can get attention there. Get to the medical pod at 10:30 at night. No medical treatment until the morning. 7 o'clock comes around. I hear my individual cell pop. I get out to go to a nurse. No nurse until pill call. Pill call comes at 10:30. They go to the men, then they come to the women. Because I've been complaining about my finger all night, the female inmates say, you can go first. The nurse says, well, we don't have any gauze to tape up your hand. We don't have any gauze and tape, so you'll be going to wound care. Okay, well, can I have some pills for the pain? I don't have an order for your pills. So the whole time I was there, it felt like I couldn't get any treatment as well. You know, I'm a female. We go through things. I just went through something when I went there. I couldn't get attention for that as well. And it was just a horrible experience. In 39 years of my life, I've never been arrested. I'm not a criminal. I've never had DFACS case. And because someone doesn't like me and my family have to go through this.
That was my next question. I actually did a criminal search on your name, and nothing came up in Richmond County.
No, ma'am.
But I was going to ask you if you'd ever been arrested. So never been arrested, no priors.
No, ma'am. And this is from California to Georgia. No, ma'am.
Thankfully, when you got out of prison or jail, I don't know what the difference is, to be honest, you were able to get your kids back immediately, correct?
Yes,
How did
ma'am.
that process go?
So when I got out, I got a free phone call. I called the social worker. She didn't answer. I called the teacher. She said that she had already got word that I was coming home. She told my baby. So I told her I would be walking to the school. As soon as I got out of the jail on Finnessy Road, the social worker was actually there in a parking lot to pick me up. She was a really sweet lady. She took me to buy Wendy's. She knew I was hungry, and then she took me to my kid's school. The most hurtful thing for me is my son had just gotten an award when I got to his school, and as a mother, I would have liked to have been there. But I missed it. And when I got out, the school administrators on both sides, the elementary school and the middle school, vouched for me as a good mother. And so instead of DFACS holding my children for 45 days, they gave them back as soon as I got out.
How are they doing? Because that was pretty stressful for them. How are they doing?
They are not well. My son, he sits in silence, which makes it worse because I don't know how he's feeling. And my 5-year-old cries over everything. She's never been so sensitive. She's always been a tough cookie. Any and every little thing makes her cry. She's playing a game with her brother. It makes her cry. He changed his avatar to his color skin. She's lighter than him. It makes her cry. Something she wants for dinner. He got some grape soda. She didn't get a full cup. She cried because she didn't get more. Ever since I've been home, she has not left my side. She has her own bed in her own room. She's been sleeping in my room ever since I came home. The very first day I came home, she says, "Mommy, are you leaving us again? When are you leaving us again?" That broke my heart. I've never left my 5-year-old. And so my kids are totally traumatized. Most likely I will have to put them in mandatory counseling because I do not know how to help them past the situation.
Yeah. Is that something that the school will offer to help? Or?
I think the social worker can help me with that.
Got it. What did you do afterwards? Because you've taken some steps to kind of do some things. What did you do yesterday?
Well, yesterday I called Family Dollar Corporate. This is the first thing that I did. 8 o'clock in the morning, I called Family Dollar Corporate. I had a previous ticket number from when I called 2 weeks before, so they asked me for that information so that they can look it up. What they did was they contacted who is the district manager and the regional manager. I'm not sure of her name. Neither one of them answered. As well, they sent an email to They said that they have to respond to that email from corporate because they actually went behind corporate's back and pursued me when they should not have. So that was the first call that I made. And then I went to internal affairs to file a complaint on internal affairs. They told me until my criminal case has been solved that they can't push any further issue with the officer that arrested me. And then I attempted to reach out to several lawyers across the city. Just because, number one, I have a criminal case, I have a DFACS case, I have all these things in my life that I shouldn't have right now. And then we have someone at Family Dollar who's still trying to technically by law ban me, and she has no rights to. So I had a lot of phone calls to make yesterday. I don't have a car. I walked around the city trying to get business handled, and I feel I was successful yesterday.
What would you like to happen from here? So best case scenario, let's say 6 months, a year down the road, what's the best case scenario that you would like to see happen?
6 months from here, I would like Family Dollar to be run by a general manager that actually cares about the people in the community. I would like to no longer have a job because you didn't follow corporate's rules. I don't believe they should be working for Family Dollar. Anytime you make your own rules when you work for someone, you don't deserve to work there. As well, I would like the officer to be reprimanded for excessive force that he used in front of me and my children. It was not okay.